So I had an interesting day playing some Blitz yesterday. Got over quite solidly over 1400, and then played a bunch of games in the afternoon when I was tired, and I went down, down, down to low 1300s, where I found great darkness, beyond the reach of light, beyond even the reach of logic. I had fallen into the depths of punishing dumb-ass openings. Yep, I found another one, boys and girls. My opponent, rated here 1305, in a 5-minute blitz game. I have the black pieces, and I don't know, this one beggars belief. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. I don't know if I'll ever see it again. I really don't mind if I do. But let's just take it from the top. The Clemens opening. Pawn to h3. This is how we start, but it gets worse. So I play e5. Right? I want to occupy the center of the board, obviously. Now h4. So instead of just playing h4 straight away, he's decided to use 2 moves to get that there. So what do? Obviously d5, right? Now I control the whole center, principled. Guess what comes next? You'll never guess. h5. Okay, so knights before bishops, crack on. And now he decides to do something somewhere generally towards the middle of the board, so pushes e3. I develop my other knight. This pawn, it has to be said, is defended twice, so I'm not really attacking it. And now a3, and I develop my bishop, and now b4, and I develop my other bishop. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do yet. I just want to get kind of, it's almost like making a fist, you know. In martial arts, if you've got a loose fist and you try and punch someone, you can break all your fingers, right? But there's definitely something about having all my minor pieces centrally and this kind of tight structure. This guy's trying to come at me on both flanks. I'm just going to buckle down, right? He fianchettos his bishop here, and I now push my queen. So I've now got options. This is move 7, and I've got options to castle either side. He pushes h6. I was ready for that. And so I push. So he's pushed h3, h4, h5, h6. He's used 4 of his first 8 moves to shove Harry up the board. So I just push g6 here. And Harry's blocked off, and we're okay. So now he starts with Gary. Obviously, of course he does. Right? In for a penny, in for a pound. So I decide to castle long. And he puts his bishop on h3, wanting to trade bishops. Now, do I want to trade bishops? In actual fact, I figured out that because I'm castled, I would be better off letting him trade bishops, and then I can recapture with the f-pawn, open up the f-file, and then try and start something towards his king. So I move my knight up the board to here. And he decides to trade bishops, and I recapture with the f-pawn. This gives me this extra central pawn, which is no bad thing. Now at some point, let's say my knight moves away, I might be pushing, and then if he takes, I can take back with the spare pawn and still have 2 central pawns. I generally like that situation. He kicks my knight, I come back. I think most of us would probably take black in this situation. Okay, dude's only used 27 seconds, so this is kind of what he's doing, is these stupid openings, in many ways, when you're playing Blitz, I think are designed to make your opponent just really slow down. So I'm trying to play in a slow and measured way. I'm using about 5 seconds on every move, which is fine. Rook d to f8. Looking at this pawn here that's defended only by the king. So he throws it at me. I capture with my spare e-pawn. He captures. I retreat my knight. And now clearly there's an awful lot of space here towards the king. Is he going to castle his king? Is he going to want to put his king that way, get his rook here? There's a possibility of that. Also, we have to notice that this rook is hanging. How long has the rook been hanging? Since this move. Okay, so here he should have actually taken the rook, which he didn't do. I didn't notice. Now I notice, and he notices, and he goes up in exchange. However, he's still in a world of pain. This pawn is undefended here. The rook there is undefended. It's not a great situation, but he has managed to win some material. So we have knight b3. I now put my bishop on the long diagonal. Look at his rook. Now he's moved his rook, and there is goodbye to any ideas of castling your king that way. So now it's time to just move my knight around. I'm thinking my knight's not doing much here. Can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. So let's start to reroute the knight around the other side of the board to find some action. His knight comes in, I push b6, where he really... I just want to get rid of the knight, right? He might come here, in which case I'll go king there. He might come here. He retreats the knight. I advance my knight, and now I also spot that I have this with a check, which will force the king to move. Out comes his queen. I throw in the check. King has to move, and now king and queen adjacent on a diagonal. What is the tactical pattern that should be jumping out to you right now? All right, knight on here forks them both. However, that's a problem right now because that square is guarded by both knight and pawn. So I just decide to break things up. So I push the pawn up here. He comes down. I can't really push the pawn to attack because queen just takes. I could have just captured here. That's also an option. But I stick my king on b7. He grabs the pawn, I come in, and now I just want to open things up, basically. Also notice that his king and my king and his queen are in line. He takes with check, I have to move backwards. He grabs a pawn. Now, at this point, I would love to be able to play that, but I can't because there's nothing covering that square. However, what do you see? What else do you see in this position? Caused by the fact that the king is off here. But also, look at this. Now, in fact, while we're here, let me throw up an analysis board. This isn't just a little thing that we did on Chess Bootcamp Live the other week, right? You look at all the squares that a knight can go to, and then basically you take any pair of those squares. Okay, so let's do like these two. So these two, we all know this. This is a knight forkable pairing. Right? So what about this? Obviously, knight forkable pairing. And this, 5 squares apart. So we have 3 squares apart, we know is knight forkable from here. Right? 5 squares apart, also knight fork. Also this one, the long one. Yeah, that. And also this, you have to notice. This is like a long L. This is like an extended knight's move. An extended knight's move, if the knight comes here, right, it's forking both of these 2 squares. You know, always good to know. And not that. But basically, yeah, this is worth doing for yourself, right? Any 2 of these squares can be, in fact, even more than 2, technically, can be forked by a knight. You know, or these 2, or those 2, or whatever, right? So just good to know, good to know. So here, you should see it by now, right? King and queen like this. Which knight can do the damage? Actually, we have an option, but this one here can be taken by the knight. But this one, knight captures f4, and I win the queen. And we, in fact, I don't even recapture the knight here because I have this, and it comes with a discovered check. So this is actually a double check. And really, from this point, we're just messing around, and that's actually checkmate. Quite simply, checkmate. And his position has just totally crumbled in just a couple of moves, really, from there. So there you go. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? We'll have a quick look at the game review. I doubt he was ahead according to the computer at any point in time, but you know, he did win an exchange. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, So he was actually ahead when I blundered, and my blunder was king to here. Okay, so I've got 2 blunders here. And this is what these idiots kind of count on. That their bizarre behavior will prompt you to mess up. Okay, so this loses a piece. How does it lose a piece? What's he actually attacking? It's not attacking that. Oh, it's just the pawn, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we saw this. So moving the pawn there was best. Knight here. And what I should have done is, yeah, swap off the pawn first. Yeah. But actually, it's got white winning here. So let's see what's my other blunder. Yeah, it doesn't like that. That's a blunder. There's a better way to capture an undefended piece, so he should have done... Oh, hang on. Sorry, his best move here was... Oh, right, okay, just win another pawn. Yeah. This is the thing. They just want to throw you off your guard, and they want to put you into a one-way ticket to bad chess, Phil. So here, and now I blunder. So what should I have done here? I captured the pawn, but there was a much better move. And now white is +5. Goodness me. I mean, I'm glad he still got punished. But what should I have done from this position to threaten winning material? It's not knight to here. I mean, that would have gone there, surely. But let's see. Right, the best move was... Yeah, apparently knight to there, which was equal. And clearly he would have had to recapture with the knight. So let's see the line. Takes... Attack the king. Huh. Curious. Okay, well there you go. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. Very, very random. So, you know, he didn't get punished as badly as he should have got punished, but he got punished. And there we go. So join me next time for more punishing dumbass openings. Yeah, definitely kind of rocked, makes you wobble here. And to be honest, I shouldn't really have, you know, finished this game on with 2 minutes on the clock. I should have taken my time a little bit more and avoided getting flustered. I think that in that game I was much more solid in the beginning. As you can see, I had the advantage, made a mistake here, throwing my knight up the board. And what I should have done was traded off bishops. Okay, yeah, but I allowed him to trade bishops. I was still winning, but I was actually -3 to black at that point if I'd have initiated the trade and just kept my pawns intact, because quite honestly, it would have been made a pretty much impenetrable fortress here. You see, I've completed development at this point, and he's just not at all. So yeah, so I get that would have been more principled, but you know, he lured me into playing a little bit gung-ho, a little bit cavalier attitude. Yeah, and I don't like it. I don't like these guys playing these dumbass openings, but it makes for entertaining videos. So here's to Ambruts. Thanks for that. Thanks for the 3 points. Thanks to you for... In fact, it wasn't really 3 points, because if he played a bit better, he could have turned around and spanked me. So there you go. And it would have been a getting punished by dumbass openings video, which I don't really want to do so much either. But there you go. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you later.